Hi, everyone, and happy Thursday, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. I am so glad to be back. I'm immigration attorney Yael Brudner, coming to you guys live from Orange County, California, Southern California. I am streaming live today on Facebook and YouTube, and I am so excited to see everyone join us today for immigration Q&A. I'm here to answer your immigration questions. So first of all, thank you for everyone that sent us questions during the week. And if you have any questions today, if you're on the live show, you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I promise to try to get to them. Sometimes it gets a little busy, crazy, and I don't see it. If I don't see your question live, I promise I will answer your question later. Okay. Also, if you're watching the recording of this, then feel free to still write your question and I will get back to it later when I see it. If you're new to our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, I would love if you can subscribe to our channel, like us, follow us. We offer so much content about immigration. We're always here, always talking about what's going on and available for everyone's questions. So before we start, just a quick disclaimer that this is today general advice. So it's not specific legal advice. It's just general information. However, if you do want to receive specific advice about your case, about your situation, we would love to talk to you. I would love to meet you for a consultation. You can reach out to us. Our information is here on the screen. You can reach out to us or send us a private message to book your consultation for a one-on-one session with me. Okay? Awesome. Well, I'm going to jump into questions. We got a lot of questions. I picked the ones that I think would be the most interesting for everyone. And like I mentioned, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. Today I'm a little sick still, so bear with me, and I'm sorry that my voice is not 100%. Okay, so the first question is, I entered the US as a tourist. Can I apply for my green card through marriage? Okay, super common scenario. People come into the United States, they come for a visit on a tourist visa, or maybe they have ESTA, a visa waiver option, and they're here, and then they decide that they want to get married, and they want to know if they can apply for their green card for their case. So generally speaking, if you enter the United States lawfully with a visa or with a visa waiver, then you can generally apply for your green card here in the United States without the need to leave the country for your process. This is known as the process of adjustment of status. Okay, adjustment of status is kind of like a fancy name for applying for the green card in the United States, but generally it is available to you if you enter legally and you are married to a U.S. citizen, right? That's a caveat, right? This question says just through marriage. If you are married to a resident, that could make it a little bit different. It could change things. But definitely, if this is your situation, you most likely are able to pursue the green card case. And if you want specific advice, please reach out to us, and I'm happy to do a personalized assessment of your case. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, can you explain what a 601 waiver is? Yes, I can. So, just as a general kind of thing to know, in immigration, a lot of the applications have a number to it, and that's how the applications are identified. But the 601A is the number for a waiver of inadmissibility, and it's a specific waiver, it's a provisional waiver, and where it comes up is if someone is in the process of applying for their green card. Okay, and they need to, they already know that they're subject to an inadmissibility due to their unlawful presence. So they know already that due to previous immigration violations, previous overstay, they will trigger an unlawful presence bar, which is usually a 3 or 10 year bar. In that case, when someone already knows that they're going to have an issue with their case, in certain circumstances, they can apply for this waiver, the 601A waiver, which is a special forgiveness that allows you to ask for forgiveness of these unlawful presence bars, these 3 and 10 year bars, in advance. So before you even trigger the bar, before you even get to that point in your journey, you can ask for forgiveness of this penalty or this consequences. And you can do that if you have a qualifying relative, which is either a U.S. citizen spouse or a resident spouse or a parent. So you need a spouse or parent that's a U.S. citizen or spouse to qualify for the 601A. Okay, so a 601A, it's a waiver of a ground of inadmissibility. It's a waiver for something that will prevent you from getting the green card that is triggered due to being here unlawfully in the United States. It does not apply to anyone. This person probably had a consultation and kind of was advised about the 601A and trying to get some more information. So this is pretty complex stuff. And definitely, if this is your situation, I recommend having a consultation with an attorney to tell you even if you need this kind of waiver, and if you do, if you qualify for it. Okay, awesome. Okay, Nadi's asking, I would like to ask about my sponsorship for my green card holder husband, and he's having my 3-year-old daughter, and I want to know what's the shortest way to be with my daughter. Okay. So Nadi, tell me a little bit more information about you. Is your spouse a green card holder and he's petitioning for you? Where are you currently living? Are you in the US? Are you abroad? Give it me a little bit more information so I can answer you a little bit better. Okay? But I will. I promise I will. I'll jump to the next question. But in the meantime, if you can just write me some more facts about your situation. Okay, perfect. Folks, if you're watching this and you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments and try to give me kind of enough details so I can answer you the best way. Okay? Perfect. There's a question here. Can I apply for a VAWA green card if I'm no longer living with my husband? Okay. What is a VAWA green card? Let's just do a little quick recap of that. So VAWA stands for Violence Against Women's Act, and it's a special way that you can get your green card in the United States if you're in a situation where you are married to a U.S. citizen or you have a U.S. citizen child over 21, and that person is not treating you properly and is subjecting you to extreme cruelty or abuse or domestic violence. So if you're in a situation where you are in an unhealthy marriage, okay, you're no longer living with your husband because something happened and it was not going well, and there was possibly cruelty and abuse in that relationship, then you can definitely consider applying for your green card through VAWA. And this is a way to self-petition, meaning it's a way to ask for your green card for yourself, by yourself, without the help of anyone else. Okay. You do not need to be living with your husband to qualify. In fact, you can be divorced from your husband and still qualify as long as you file your petition within 2 years of the divorce. Okay. So there's no need to be living with the person that is making your life miserable, that is subjecting you to extreme cruelty, to abuse, to mental and emotional abuse. Okay, so to the question, there is no need to prove that you are still living with your husband. You have to show, part of the requirements for VAWA is that you have lived with your husband or with your spouse for a certain amount of time. Again, there's also no limit of time. But during the marriage, you did live together. Okay. But you don't have to show that you are currently living with him when you apply. Okay. I hope that helps. And I hope you reach out to me because VAWA cases are one of the cases that I'm most passionate about because a lot of people are in situations where they don't need to be and they can self petition for their green card and be so empowered to continue their life. So please reach out to us if this is your situation. Okay. Okay. Nadia's confirming you're from Ghana and you're in the petition. Nadia, is your husband a US citizen or a green card holder? If you can clarify that, and I'll answer your question because it makes a difference. Generally speaking, if you have a relative in the United States, your spouse, and you guys are married, okay, he's a green card holder. Okay, so he can petition you and your daughter can go into the petition with you. Okay, your 3-year-old daughter. Okay, so he can definitely start the process for you. The process starts with him filing a petition here in the United States for you. Right now, the category of a green card holder petitioning a spouse is not current, meaning there is a wait time. So right now, there is a wait time of a few years. But I would ask you if your husband maybe is eligible to file for citizenship. I don't know how long he's been a resident for, but if he can apply for citizenship, then his petition for you will be quicker. You're saying that your daughter is with him and she's a resident too. Okay. Well, reach out to me, Nadi. Let's have a consultation because if your daughter is a resident and he's here, okay, it's just 8 months. Your daughter might be eligible also to be, okay, I see. He's only here for 8 months. Well, still reach out to me. Let's have a consultation. I would probably recommend that he file a petition for you and get the case processed, start going, okay? Right now, like I said, the processing times are not current, but definitely it's a good idea to get that petition in, okay? Okay, I hope I helped you. Nadi, please call us. You can call us right now. Our number's on the screen. It's 714-794-9366. Or you can message us privately through Facebook and we'll call you to book a consultation and see how we can help you the fastest way. Okay? Perfect. Thank you for everyone that's joining. If you are watching the recording of this, thank you for jumping on and watching the recording. And if you have a question, feel free to write it down in the comments. And I promise that I will get back to you when I see your question, okay? It might take a while. I don't see the questions right away, but I promise that when I see them, I will reply, okay? Okay. This is a question about the U visa. Can you explain when can someone apply for the U visa? So a U visa is a humanitarian visa, and it's available for people that have been a victim of a crime in the United States, and they have reported their crime to law enforcement. So they have filed a police report. Okay. Now, not every crime is qualifying. So there's certain crimes that are considered qualifying crimes that would be qualified for the U visa. Okay. So some of the most famous ones are domestic violence or felonious assault or rape, kidnapping, serious matters. Okay. So if you were ever in a situation where you're in the United States and you were a victim of a crime and you reported this crime to the police, okay, then you can ask for the U visa. The U visa will allow you, will lead to a green card, right? You can get a green card through the U visa, okay? Now, some people talk to us and they say, I have been victim of a crime, but I've never reported it. So if that's your situation, I want to let you know that it might not be too late. you might be able to still report your what happened to you. Okay. And if this is your situation, then I definitely recommend to talk to a lawyer, talk to someone that can help you and guide you the best way. Don't be afraid to report your crime. Reporting a crime to the police will not put you in risk. Okay. And you might be eligible for the green card that way. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for that question. Okay. Let's jump into our next one. We have a few really good questions. Okay. What documents do I need for the I-130? I am filing for my husband. So again, if you notice, it's the numbers, right? The I-130 form. I-130 form is the green card petition for a family member. And the I-130 is basically the first part in the green card petition through family. And it's basically the I-130 is there to confirm the familial relationship, right? So if you're filing for your husband, the I-130 is there to demonstrate that you are really married. That is where you would provide evidence of your marriage, right? If you're filing for a parent, that's where you would prove that you are really a child and this is your parent. If you're filing for your sibling, the I-130 form is where you would prove that you are really family members, you're really siblings, right? So what documents do you need for the I-130 for the green card petition if you are filing for your husband? So if you're filing for your husband, what you would need to show first is proof that you're a US citizen as a petitioner, or a resident, right? A resident can also file. Proof that you guys are legally married, right? That you have a marriage certificate and that the marriage is valid. So if you were ever married before, you or your spouse, you would have to also show proof that any previous marriages were terminated. Okay. So divorce decree or death certificates or annulments. Okay. And finally, probably the most important part of this whole I-130 petition would be that you would have to show proof of your relationship, right? On paper. So you would have to show that you are really husband and wife, that you intend to live a life together, and that you're not just filing this petition just for the green card, right? So that's where you would file anything that you can think of that would prove this. So joint tax return, if you have a joint bank account, if you have a joint lease, if you guys are on each other's insurance policies, if you have any property or any cars or anything on both your names, if you have any joint memberships, any joint credit cards, any affidavits from friends and family attesting to your relationship, and finally, photos of the two of you throughout your relationship. I love submitting photos, different places, different times with different people in them, and try to write down on the photos who's in the photos, where are you guys at, when was it taken. Okay, so those are basically the most important documents that you need with the I-130. Also very important to download the correct form, make sure you have the right edition, and you have the right um, filing fee with that. Okay, perfect. So I hope I answered that question. And if you are interested in a one-on-one consultation, feel free to reach out to us. Our information is just right here on the screen. Okay, guys, I'm going to answer a couple more questions today. This question came in. I've been in the country for 25 years and my son turned 21. Can he petition me? Thank you so much for sending this question over to us. A very common scenario. Um, it really depends. I know I hate answering this question like that, but it depends. I don't have a lot of information, but I can answer just generally, right? In general, if you have a son that's over 21 years old, he can petition you. Yes, a 21-year-old can petition for a parent for the green card, but that's only the first step, right? he can petition you, but will you be able to proceed with this petition and eventually get your green card? That depends. It depends on how you entered the country and your immigration history. Okay. So if you entered with a visa, you entered legally 25 years ago and you've never left and you've been here since, generally speaking, your son can petition you. Okay. And you can do the whole process here in the United States without leaving, in a pretty straightforward process. Okay. If you did not enter the country legally, then it gets a little tricky. Then there is a law that says that generally speaking, you have to leave to go back to your country, for the process. So then, in those cases, I recommend to talk to an immigration lawyer to see if you might qualify. Um, Not to have to do that. So have to be able to do the process here in the United States without leaving. And there are exceptions to the general rule. So there are cases where even if you enter illegally, if you have a 21-year-old son that can petition you, then you can apply for the green card here in the United States. So to answer this question, yes, your son can petition you, but I definitely recommend having a conversation with an immigration attorney to confirm the eligibility of the next steps of your case. Okay, and what's the best way to do it? Okay, let me pick just one last question for today, guys. Okay, we have another question about VAWA, but I'm really happy to answer it because, like I said, I'm very passionate about VAWA cases. And I feel like these are cases that can empower you to take your life into control and take the power back, and apply for your green card by yourself without anyone's help. Do you need a police report to file for a VAWA green card? The answer is no. You do not need a police report to file for a VAWA green card. And I know a few minutes ago, I talked about the U visa. And for the U visa, I did say that you need a police report. And the reason is that you do. It's different. U visa is different from VAWA. U visa is for people that are victims of crimes in the United States. And you have to show that you've reported your criminal activity to law enforcement. And that's usually with police report. With a VAWA green card, there's no requirement to report the crime. There's no requirement to have to go to the police. There's no requirement for any physical abuse or any official crime to have happened. Okay. We have been very successful getting VAWA cases approved in cases of mental abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, things that hurt your soul, but maybe you don't go to the police for. Those are very powerful situations. Um, if you are in a situation where you're married to a US citizen or a green card holder, or you have a child that's over 21 and is a US citizen, and they're subjecting you to mistreatment and abuse, you can definitely file for a VAWA green card case. I mean, it's a good idea to consult with an attorney to see that you qualify, but there's a good chance that you could qualify, and you absolutely do not need a police report. Okay. Okay, guys, I am going to wrap up this session for today. Thank you for everyone that joined. If you are watching the recap of this and you have any questions, you can still ask questions. You can still ask questions in the comments. I promise I'll get back to them. It might take me a day or two, but I will answer them personally. Okay. I am immigration attorney Yael Brudner, and I will see you again next week. Please like and follow us for more immigration content.